Hey, good evening. This is Kat. I'm gonna make some chocolate scones tonight and you're gonna watch. Okay, first thing we're gonna need is some self-rising flour, a stick of butter, some buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, use regular milk. Kind of turns out alright. The only thing buttermilk does is it softens them up in the middle more than just regular. You're gonna need half a cup of sugar. And you're going to need some cocoa powder. Now it pretty much depends on the person. I use about half a cup. That's a lot, but... And then you're also going to need... Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I think I put it back. Pastry blender. And we're also going to need the oven on 400 degrees. So let's get started. I don't know if you can see this over here. Action. Here, let's just do it like that. And I know you won't be able to see my pretty face, but at least you'll see where the action's at. Okay. So let's get my mouse out of there so it doesn't get floury. And you can take it out of the bag and you can scoop it off with a knife, or I kind of press in a little bit. And then just kind of compact it a little bit and pack it in there. So we're making 1.5. There's the recipe is for 3 cups. I'm halving it though, but I have to put in a little bit more. So it's 1.5 cup plus another half a cup for the ending. So it's 2 cups. There's 1 total. There's 1.5 total. And there's 2 total. I'm glad you do not have to sift this one, as it is 10 o'clock at night. And I just don't feel like doing any extra work. Okay. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. Put that in there. Gotta put your cocoa powder in there. Yes, it's a lot, but I like very chocolatey things. And what you do is just whisk it around. You want to make sure it gets all incorporated. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to take back out a good half a cup, because you're going to need this to lay this on your surface later. And then we're going to put some sugar in here. And this is about half a cup that I put in there. A little over. So we're going to take this and stir this as well. Not a whole lot, just a little bit there. And then we're going to take our butter. And this is not exactly half a recipe, so I would do more than half. So I would do it like right there. You want to get all that buttery goodness in your... What you have to do, sorry, can you see what I'm doing? Right there is you cut it a couple times. And this is cold cube butter. You do not want this sitting out. You want this nice and cold as it can be, refrigerated. And then you cut it up again. And you just throw it in your butter. And that's why you need the good old pastry blender. Okay, so this is pretty much done. Put this back in my refrigerator. There we go. Now we take this out, leave that to the side, take that to the side, and we're just going to take this and crumble everything in here together. And if you don't want to use chocolate, you can use cranberries and orange juice, orange zest. You just put that in after you do the flour and the sugar. If you don't want to do the chocolate, you can do lemon zest with poppy seeds, or actually I've tried the lemon zest, lemon juice, and walnuts are very yummy with this recipe. And you do the same thing. You put the flour in, then you put those ingredients in, and then you do the butter. But this is, like I said, this is half. Just for me, nobody else. If you want to do something for a function, family function, church, work, kids, picnic day, whatever, you can do the full recipe. And the full recipe is 3 cups of self-rising flour, half a cup sugar, and I use the half a cup anyway with this because you need the sugar, the extra sugar, to sweeten the baking, the cocoa powder. Because cocoa powder without sugar does not taste very good. Very bland and actually kind of gross. So you're just trying to work all that in there. And at some point, when you do that, and most of the butter doesn't stick on the thing, yes, that's a very technical term. It's called a thing. On the pastry blender, then that means that everything is almost pretty much incorporated. And you want a nice, like, sandy texture. And what you do is you try to wash it off right away. That way, with these, if they are left soaking, sometimes they can rust. So I'm just going to take about 30 seconds and wash this off and put it on a dry towel, and that way it can rinse off. It can dry on that towel. Sorry about that. You just really want to make sure you get everything in there. And make sure you do it with your sponge, because if you do it another different way, then you cut your fingers. Okay. So here we are. Just mix that a little bit with your whisk. And it's about 1.5 cups to maybe 1 3/4 of buttermilk if you use them for the full recipe. This I just keep on adding it until I get to the desired consistency, but you don't want to add it too much at a time, because then you'd have to add more ingredients, and we don't want to do that. Or I don't want to do that. But this is a lot of, it doesn't seem like a lot of flour, but in order to get this quite right, you really do have to add quite a lot of milk. There's some butter. And you just keep on doing that, because you might get like a little pool of milk somewhere on the bottom. a little bit more. And I'll pour it on the bottom, that way I can kind of scoop it up. It's looking very fudgy. Maybe you can make some kind of brownie bar thingies with this. I'm not sure how that would work. These are more cakey than they are fudge. And the reason why I keep on going over it is because sometimes with this recipe, the flour loves to hide. It really does. Okay, so we're done with the recipe. That's all I needed. We're done with this. I'm just trying to get everything out of here that can go out of here. And then we just put this milk in my refrigerator. If you saw that, I actually put it in my freezer because I love cold, almost frozen milk when I eat sweet treats. Okay, and I'm going to take this. And you're still there over there somewhere, right? Okay. I'm going to take this and just pour this. Actually. And this is going to be a bit of a messy process. I'm warning you now. Okay. Now, I tried this with my fingers last time, and I'm not going to do that because it was just extremely difficult with my fingers. And if you're doing a three cup recipe, the full recipe, don't do the whole thing at once. You can split it and make a couple different flavors right after you add the sugar. And the reason why I took that out and made it like this, because if you put just regular flour on the top, it's going to taste very pasty, and that flour just is not going to taste very good with chocolate on the inside and just regular white flour on the out. So that is why I added that. Now this is becoming too sticky to deal with. Now I put some down, and that's why I'm going to sprinkle this part on top. Let me just first rinse my fingers. This is yummy chocolate scones. And I got the regular recipe from somewhere else. I did. But the chocolate part and the cocoa powder I made up by myself. So that is technically my recipe. Then you just keep on turning it like this, and you pat it down a little bit. And then at some point, if you can, it's not going to be hard. I mean, this thing is not going to be hard. This part might be a little difficult. Good. And you keep on turning it and pat it down a little bit, but also you don't want to overwork it. So I think this is just right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to take something. I don't have any paper towels. I don't know what it would be that I would take, but or I can just do it with my hand. You can I think you can put either parchment. I think you can put this on parchment paper. So or you can put it on an oil pan if you would like. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to take some canola oil. Just like this. You see it in the middle, and then I'm just going to rub it around with my hand. Hey, I haven't done this in quite a few years. I either use usually paper towels or just some other kind of thing. Small Ziploc bag. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to leave this right here. I have to wash my hands just one more time. Whoop. And depending on the oven, the altitude, and everything else, you're going to put this on 400. You have, you know that you have a hot oven, and you know that pretty much everything burns on 400. It depends on what kind of oven you have. Electric, gas, older ovens, newer ovens, all kinds. So then I have a knife here that I just washed off a little while ago, and you're going to take it kind of like when you're doing a cookie cutter, and you're going to put this in the flour and cocoa powder, and you're going to cut this into half, and this gets dirty again, or gets kind of moist in the middle, and you're going to do wedges. Cut it into 4 or 5 pieces, and this is perfect that it's going to make. And these are going to turn out really nice and big. And what you do is you're gonna, if you want, you can keep these whole, and you can serve them large size, and I'll show you at the end the difference of what I do. And what I do is once they're done, I cut them in half or maybe in 3s because these get so big. Oop. Trying to spread these across the pan. So that way they're not going to touch each other when they bake. Okay, I have 2 more. I'll put this one in the middle. And this one on the side. So now we have 8 perfectly beautiful scones that are going in the oven. I'm going to put my timer on and wash my hands again. Okay, so I have no idea what the time is. I kind of went quick today and hoping that I don't have a half-an-hour video. 18 minutes. I guess I'm going to have a half-hour video. So, be back in the end results when it's all cooked and done. Okay, now while they're in the oven, we're going to be doing the glaze. Now you can either do the regular glaze with the powdered sugar, or you can do a chocolate glaze. And with these, putting a yummy chocolate glaze all over them is just to die for. Okay, so I got the mouse. First we start off with the powdered sugar. Here's about a heaping half cup. And another heaping half a cup, because once you put milk in here, it's going to diminish. It's going to get a lot less than what... Actually, I have a little bit of an idea. Yes, that was a rag on the floor that was following me. I think I'm going to put in a little bit of vanilla with this today, because everything is just little. And just Just a bit of that, just a taste. Okay. And then, now with this we don't need a lot. Do that much. Okay, so we have the vanilla, we have the cocoa powder, we have the powdered sugar, and now I'm going to add the milk. And if you have like kind of, sometimes I have buggy issues, so I put stuff in plastic and I put them in containers like that just to keep, you know, the bugs away. And if you want, you can do this in like a little nice pretty bowl and pretty dish, but I'm kind of low rent. I don't need a whole lot of beautiful, you know, but I do like nice things, you know, but just to make this and put this back in the sink. Now you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. By putting more milk in there, you're going to make it more thin. If you want to, instead of doing this, if you want to just do the powdered sugar and vanilla and maybe a little bit of cinnamon on there. Because with this, you have to really make sure you're getting it, because, let's set this on here. With powdered sugar and flour, it likes to hide. You can see that how a little bit is keep on coming up on the bottom. I'm just going to add a teeny bit more. Oh, it's bubbling up, which means it's getting to the top. The good stuff is coming. Okay. Now, I like it thick, but I also like a very runny glaze that I don't have to really put on, but I can just drizzle. Okay, let me put this to the side. And again, I'm going to clean up here. And what I've been doing is I put this to the side, this in the sink. Sorry, I kind of do that when I'm alone. I talk out what I'm doing. Okay, well that doesn't work, so there we go. And as you know, the old Tupperware, they kind of get the slits in the middle. And I just want to make sure that nothing else is going to get in there. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, yes, I said that. And my scones have been sitting out for about a minute. They're still a little warm. I'm sorry, I know it's another half-an-hour video. Can I go any faster? No, I can't. I'm a slow person. So, ta-da! You have 8 beauteous big scones. However, I don't like them that big, especially for functions. Functions, and you want to make more. Okay, well I guess I'll have to wipe it with my shirt, because so this is a big, let me see, let me try to find the biggest one. I would say this is the biggest one. It's beautiful, and it does have a little bit of the powder on top, but if it was white, the just white you put on top, that'd be a lot worse. Very nice and done on the bottom. I know with kind of chocolate, sometimes it's hard to tell. So I'm just gonna take a knife, and I actually like smaller pieces. I like to cut them in thirds. So that way when you can grab a couple. And you don't want to grab a whole big, which I never have a problem with because I don't mind grabbing chocolate. But some people that are watching their weight or just for kids, you don't want to give them a big piece because if they don't like it, then they waste. Not that. So I just do that a little bit more. And then I just kind of push them all together. And this is still hot. So I kind of try to push them all together. So that way I don't waste the glaze when I go from scone to scone. And this is just beautiful. Oh, doesn't that look really good? And I made enough here, so it's gonna just really, I mean, if you love chocolate on chocolate, yes, baby, this is it. And that's why I push it in the middle. And then the glaze gets hard. And what I do is I set this in like a Tupperware dish afterwards. But when the glaze gets hard, and if some kind of just rolled off the scones and didn't get enough on there, which I believe I have plenty on here. And I'll stop because that is just purely enough. What I might do is put something over this and keep this in the refrigerator for when they dry out in a couple days. So that is your beautiful scones. And on the bottom, this is going to sit for a minute. And if you pick it up, like say you pick this one up, and it has no stuff on the bottom, you'll just kind of scoop it along up with it, just like that. Okay. Oh, wow. You can, oh, what I forgot to do, one thing I forgot to do is, oh, that's sweet, I forgot to taste. And when you're a cook or a chef or a baker, you have to taste your food. And I forgot to put a little bit of salt in to cut the sweet of the sugar, but it's all done. Oh, well. I usually do, but this time I think I was in such a hurry to want a scone. Of course I have to eat one. Don't mind my hair today. It's up like that because I just didn't want to mess with it. Oh yeah. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. Like, wow. I can put this down, but I'm not going to. Mmm. So good, so good. So, hope you liked the video. Got a little chocolate drool there. And keep coming back for more. More scones, more videos, more all of that good stuff. I look like a chipmunk because I have it all right here on my cheek. Alright. Now if I can just find my cursor. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Hope you make them. Bye.